Right now, I want to bring to you our Angels Moments. And this Angels Moment is actually entitled, It Starts with the Truth. The African American children who are killing each other are perpetuating negative stereotypes, who are generally lost, confused, and must be taught the truth. They must be taught that they are unique, and this uniqueness is their strength. They must be taught that most African Americans are not immigrants. They are descendants of Africans who were victims of kidnapping, rape, torture, forced labor, and continued exploitation. They must be taught that their forefathers have been forced to build this country so that listen to this, European immigrants, in which they are, had places to come. They must be taught that their so-called founding fathers of America were their captors, exploiters, and slave masters of their African American forefathers. They must be taught that somehow the struggle and the glorious triumph of their forefather has been turned into a shame-based struggle to forget the ignorance of their own recent history. They must be taught that their future generation is in a position of ignorance concerning their condition and how it came about. Again, dare I say, they must be taught that they are unique, and this uniqueness is their strength together. I don't think you guys understand the importance of that sentence, so I'll say it again. They must be taught that they are unique, and it's this uniqueness which is their strength. Have you ever thought about that? Most of the time we're cast away as this broad-faced stereotype of nothingness. But if you truly think about it, maybe we're outcast because we're unique. And we need to embrace that uniqueness. So not like at the end of my Angels Moment, I stated that, African Americans are unique and they need to understand that their uniqueness is their strength. And I know a lot of times, primarily on the show, I always speak, black power, black power. Yes, I am for the pro-black movement, but a lot of times I just need for you, my audience, to understand that I speak that way because a lot of times I don't feel as though African Americans are brought to the forefront in a positive note. But on a more personal note, I also want everyone to understand that I feel as though that every race is unique. I feel as though we all have our own sense of uniqueness that brings to the table and forms this American melting pot that we have. And I think the problem is, as a society, we allow ourselves to be that stereotype as opposed to just truly being ourselves. Take it from me. I love all genres of music. But what vexes me is when I'm rolling down the road and I'm listening to alternative music and I hear, oh, that's white music. And I'm like, no, it's just music. It's not music is not claimed. Music is universal. And I think that we as a people, and I don't mean just African Americans, but human race, need to really understand that it should not always be a black or white or minority and non-minority thing. We need to think people based, like people, not skin. And that bothers me because we're so stigmatized by the stereotypes that we lose sight of what the bigger picture is. And the bigger picture is to make this place better for our upcoming generation. And it seems as though we've come so far, but then we took 1,700 steps back, so we're right back at the drawing board. We're still fighting against discrimination. We're still fighting against sexism. And there's so many isms that we have to fight against that we're still not creating a better world. I mean, we're so caught up with discrimination and everything else that we're not even paying attention to freaking global warming. We're so fixated on, I gotta make sure that this race doesn't get ahead, and I gotta make sure the middle class stays here and the upper class stays here, that we're not paying attention to the mere fact that our world is dying, and we're all sitting here with our thumbs up, our boop boop, for lack of a better word, and worried about the wrong things. And I like to bring that out a lot of times because I feel as though like the other races do not point out the African American contributions to anything. And I don't understand that. That's the problem that I have. They don't like to showcase our uniqueness and inventions and song. It's only the ones that they deem noteworthy, while so many others are swept under the rug. And I've never understood that. Like, if you have someone who's created this awesome nuclear reactor, why can't you showcase that person simply because they did it, not because of the race or their creed or their sex? If it's something that's adding and they're contributing to our society, why shouldn't we know? And I think the issue is way back when we were still following that same motif of, hey, now I'm the new conqueror, so I need to wipe out everyone else and erase all the history and keep this part of history away. That's stupid. Because if you think about it, you have the Egyptians and all those that were far more advanced than we are now eons ago. And had we taken their information and expounded upon it, who knows where we'd be? Heck, we probably could figure out the mystery of a black hole by now. Who knows? But we're so fixated on saying this race did this and we are supreme and we are better, as opposed to all of us coming together and doing what we have to do to make a more utopian society. Sorry for my sidetrack, but those are my thoughts when I was reading My Angel's Moment. Yeah, and I think that is the message that should be stated. Like, that's the truth. That's the number one truth, that we as a human race are so stuck that we're stuck on stupid, as opposed to being smart and proactively figuring out a way to work together. Because the world is but so big, people. Where are you going to go? There's only men and women in the world. What are you going to do? So many different races. But at the end of the day, we're all human beings. And if the earth dies and we don't do anything to fix it, then what? I guess, I don't know. That's something for you to think about. Those are my thoughts. Stay tuned for more scenes. I'll be right back right after this.